We're live. Welcome to the Writer's Life, the place where you get the sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth about the writer's life. Um, Subscribe if you haven't already. Punch out the like button and gently tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on one exciting video. And how exciting these are. So I'm back from my little road trip in my quest to find the perfect ski town in the Northeast region. Haven't found it yet. Although I covered a lot of miles, and 3 states. But there's a lot of ski resorts around the Northeast, so I haven't even I've barely scratched the surface, I guess. But that's not the point. I kind of discovered something along the way, along these drives. Normally when I go away, it's like to Italy for a couple months, or I go to like I spent almost a month in Turkey, adventuring across the whole country, whatever. And I've been to Egypt and Vietnam. I've been to all over the place, just Machu Picchu, South America, everywhere. I shouldn't say everywhere because a lot of people have done way more than me. But I think I'm up to like 35 or 36 countries. So for some people, that's nothing, dude. But for me, that's a lot. Anyway. But usually it's either that or I'm hanging out in upstate New York, writing my balls off, right? But it's especially in these dire economic times, some people are saying now that we're actually in a depression, not a recession, even though the government keeps changing the definition of recession just to please themselves and just to gaslight everybody. No one's buying it. But anyway, like in my particular case, like my portfolio is down like 80% from what it was last year. So that means I don't have the ready cash that I had like even just a year ago, to just like, oh, I think I'll just buy a plane ticket for Timbuktu and who cares, right? Because it's just me. But it just got me to wondering why, like some people, like if you don't have the money, to do what you wanted to do specifically at this particular point in time, just get in the car and go. Even with the expensive gas prices, it's like I was going for a few days and like I stayed at roadside motels, something Sam Shepard would stay at. I did a couple of videos on those, and they're not expensive at all. And it's usually drifters coming in and out, and it's quiet. And I tried to avoid the ones with like 15 Harley Davidsons parked out front because I knew that would probably be a problem. But eventually, like I'll probably stay at one of those with that element there. That's cool. I don't know if you're into Harleys, that's cool. I'm with you. I'm into Jeeps. So, but it was just great. Like just hitting the road and thinking a lot, thinking about my work, thinking about my life, thinking about my kids, thinking about, my love life or lack thereof. Like, not that that's as important at my age now as it was, but it still is, still got a few miles left of me, right? Um, you know, why don't I do that more? Like, just okay. I've never been to like Allentown, Pennsylvania. I've never been to like Montana or Wyoming or I did I did drive across the states once, but it was like like a chemical speed infused. I made it in like to Aspen, Colorado in like 2 days. Me and a friend. That was pretty cool. But I've never really stopped to spend time in some of these places in the United States that I've never been to before. And this is a huge country, so like you could do it cheaply. And I had forgotten that I'd read rather a long time ago that one of my favorite authors, the late Jim Harrison, used to do that exact same thing. If you didn't have the money to hop a flight to France or wherever, he would just get in the car and go. He would create these cassettes with different bands on them, everything from like classical music to the Dead to whatever. And he would stay at like Holiday Inns and stuff like that. And he used to say that he used to write about having some of the best meals of his life, like at a Holiday Inn. And this guy was a gourmand, which I am not. So, like, there's something to be said for that. And Sam Shepard, the late playwright, um, short story writer, just all around actor, all around great guy. He used to do the same thing. He would just get in his truck and go because he would have periods of like very little cash, and then he would have good periods, or whatever. Um, and he called himself. He described himself as being peripatetic. That's the SAT word for the day. What's peripatetic mean? Means you have to always be on the go. You have to always be going somewhere, even if it's like in your own home state. Doesn't have to be halfway across the world. You just have to. You can't sit down. So I am like that a little bit. I would describe myself as a bit peripatetic, but restless for sure. So anyway, if you're bored, if you feel like you got to get out of town, but you don't have a whole lot in the wallet, hop in your car, or in my case, my Jeep, and hit the road. All right, I'm going to come to you guys tomorrow, God willing. And ciao, ciao.